Let's start with the harsh truth. Most people who claim that they want more out of life, who say they want to feel proud of themselves, who say that they want better relationships, better health, they want a better impact, most of them will fail. Not because life is unfair, not because they don't have the ability, but because they confuse comfort with love. They'll call things like skipping the workout a rest. They'll do things like they'll call watching another episode of a show a break. They'll call scrolling social media a reward. And what they'll do is then they'll convince themselves that it's okay. They pat themselves on their back for being kind to themselves. They think this is self-love. They think this is self-care. How many times have you done this? I know I have. I know that at one point this was me down to a T. I would say, yeah, I don't need to work out today. I need a rest. Oh yeah, I'm just relaxing. I'm just having a break. So I end up binging Netflix. Yeah, let me tell you right now, it's not kindness. It's the exact opposite. Comfort is deceptive. Comfort is also seductive. It is betrayal disguised as mercy. And it's why at the end of the week, at the end of the month, the year, you feel smaller than you could be. Discipline, on the other hand, that's where everything changes. Discipline is not soft. It's not indulgent. Discipline is not Instagram-worthy inspiration that makes you feel good for 2 hours and then vanishes when that phone screen dims. Discipline is hard, it's raw, it's even ugly at times. It's inconvenient. But the truth is, it's love. It's the hardest, the most honest love you can give yourself and by extension those around you. Welcome to Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. This is the short, actionable podcast to help you shift your mindset and master your mindset so you can master your life. If you get something from this episode, please let me know. Drop me a DM or tag me on Instagram at just.live.coaching. Or if you're on Facebook, join the Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life Facebook community. Let me know what your biggest takeaways were from this episode, what you're willing to implement, and let me know what impact it has on your life. I'm Sanj and I'm here to get you from stuck to unstoppable, to help you get on the path to living the life that you dream of today. Today we're talking about why comfort is actually a form of punishment and how discipline is a form of love. So I need you to understand that I'm not talking about some generic motivational just push harder nonsense. I'm talking about identity. I'm talking about the foundation of how your life expands or contracts, the way you treat yourself in the small moments, those everyday moments. Those determine everything else. Think about maybe yesterday, last week. Maybe you don't want to, but let's do it anyway. How many times did you tell yourself last week or over the last month, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start Monday, I'll start next month? How many times did you tell yourself, I deserve a break, I've earned a moment to myself? Or maybe it's fine to relax just this once. And then although you said that, I'll start tomorrow, tomorrow never came, nothing changed. You didn't write that email, you didn't go to the gym, you didn't confront that uncomfortable truth. You didn't say no to the indulgent that you knew would actually hurt you in the long run. You didn't show up in the way your standards demanded. That's what I call a comfort trap. And it's the single biggest reason capable people all feel stuck. Because here's a nuance that most people miss. This isn't laziness. It's not that you're weak. It's not that you're a failure because of what you do or don't do. You're failing because comfort is engineered to feel good in the moment and meaningless in the long term. And your brain is untrained and it will naturally chase that. Every time you're choosing comfort, you're sending a signal, not to the world, not to your boss, not to your friends, not to your partner or your kids. You're sending a signal to your brain, your habits, your future self, and you're telling it, we settle here, this is enough. And then slowly, without you noticing, your life begins to shrink. And many people think that discipline is cruel. They see it as a negative thing. They hear it, they see it, they read about it in some book or hear it in some podcast, and they immediately think discipline is painful. I don't need that. I just want to be happy. But here's a problem. Happiness without discipline is temporary, it's shallow, and it's easily stolen. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is preservation. Discipline is love. Okay, say you, for example, you search for happiness. You go for that, say, chocolate cake. That feels good right now. But when you're there overweight, when you're there feeling sick afterwards, when you're there thinking, yeah, that was too much, and you now got to spend another hour in the gym to try and burn that off, that isn't happiness. But having the discipline just to have the tiniest little sliver, yes, it's not ideal that you had any at all, but at least you had the discipline not to go wild with it, and your future self thanks you for it. And let me explain what I mean by love, real love. Yeah, the love that builds legacies, the love that shapes character, that teaches responsibility. That's hard. It's inconvenient. It requires you to draw lines, to say no when everyone else says yes, to enforce boundaries, hold people accountable, hold yourself accountable. And yes, sometimes you will disappoint those you care about, including yourself. Because discipline is the expression of your love for yourself. It says things, I am worth more than the easy choice. I trust myself enough to follow through even when it's uncomfortable. I will treat my potential with respect even when my impulses fight me. And here's a kicker. The people who benefit most from your discipline, whether that's your children, your spouse, your team, or even your client, they see this. Yeah, they learn standards, they learn consistency, accountability, not from words, but from your actions. And all of that, it starts with you. So let's break it down so it's undeniable. Say you skip workout, you think it's one day. You scroll social media for an extra hour, you think it's just entertainment. You avoid a difficult conversation, you think I'll handle it later. Alone, none of these moments seem catastrophic, but the effect compounds. They multiply in the shadows. One missed workout teaches your body and your mind that consistency isn't important. 1 hour wasted scrolling teaches your focus to drift. One avoided conversation teaches your courage that it's optional. These small acts, these ones repeated daily, set the standard for your life, and that standard is mediocrity, and it's disguised as mercy. You feel stuck not because you lack talent or vision. You feel stuck because your habits and compromises have actually contracted your potential silently and steadily. Now think about your future. Think about your future self. Picture that person 1, 2, 5 years from now. Are they thriving in health, energy, relationships, and impact? Or are they just tolerating? Are they rationalizing? Are they settling for comfort just like today? Every time you choose comfort, you choose a smaller version of yourself. And that's the harshest truth. And it's the one that most people refuse to acknowledge. And it happens to so many people. So many people I've coached, I see them. They're successful by any external measure, but they keep running into the same invisible wall. Things like frustration, resentment, just underwhelming relationships with their spouse, their kids, friends. And they'll tell themselves, I'll be present. I'll play with the kids. I'll play with them after work. And then when they get home, the similar story I hear is, I just need to decompress. And then by the time the phone goes down or the decompression has happened, that window has passed, the kids are in bed, that moment has gone. And yes, one day that doesn't matter, but again, having it consistently happening, having it over and over again day after day, what do you think that's impacting on the relationship with his partner, with their partner, with their kids? Not being there, or their kids, or the kids seeing that, yeah, my parent comes home and just sits there on their phone, needs that time rather than spending time with us. And then the smallest change though makes a difference. So what I did with one of my clients is they engaged fully in 15 minutes of play every single day without distraction. And what they noticed was the energy shift. The kids were responding differently. His self-respect grew. He saw painfully clearly that he had been failing himself all along under the disguise of self-kindness. And this is a lens I want you to use on your life. Where are you hiding behind kindness when it's really avoidance? Where are you avoiding discipline because it's uncomfortable, and yet that avoidance is quietly eroding your life? So let's get tactical. Discipline isn't about monumental efforts every day. It's about those micro decisions repeated until they define you. Choosing that one uncomfortable action, saying no to that small indulgence, following through on a tiny commitment. Your life is built this way, not in rare moments of inspiration, but in those invisible, repeated, disciplined choices you make when no one is watching. Every choice you consider trivial, waking up early, reading instead of watching TV, it's a statement. It's a brick in the foundation of your future self. And if you neglect it, those foundations crack slowly, silently, relentlessly. So if you don't start inputting discipline into your life and you let comfort dictate your actions, your potential is going to shrink. Your confidence is going to be eroded. Your relationships are going to reflect your standards, low energy, low engagement, low accountability, and your self-trust, your self-confidence, it deteriorates. And you will know it, not hypothetically. You'll just feel it each night. When you're laying in bed, you're recalling the choices you didn't make, the conversations you didn't have, the commitments you didn't stick to. Yeah, the work you didn't do. Comfort has a price, and the problem is it's higher than you can imagine. As I say, time leaves you with results or regrets. Comfort will leave you with a lot of regrets. So here is your line in the sand moment. Right now, you decide who you are. Choose comfort again and your life contracts another fraction. Choose discipline even once today and you're sending a signal to your brain, to your body, to your identity. I am worth more. I honor myself. I respect my future self. Where you stop, that defines your standards. Where you hesitate, that defines your limits. Where you follow through, that defines your future. No excuses, no rationalizations, just the truth. So this week, try this. Identify a repeated comfort, something small, something daily, something that seems harmless, and commit to choosing the harder, right action today. And see what happens, how your excuses start to quieten down. How at the beginning you have every excuse, every rationalization, and then when you confront it, you replace it. You don't listen. See what happens. And reinforce this action, this new version of yourself consistently. Yeah. You can do this. When you do this long enough, your identity shifts and you're no longer the person who waits. You're the person who honors their standards, who follows through, who treats themselves and the people they lead with uncompromising respect. This isn't temporary. This isn't feeling good for 5 minutes. This is identity. This is a person you can become. Discipline as love becomes your standard, not an option. All your energy, your focus, your relationships, your impact, all of this, they will all mirror this choice. Real love is uncomfortable. Real growth is uncomfortable. Real life is uncomfortable until you decide to live it with integrity, consistently, and unapologetically. When you start to master your choices, you start to master your habits. When you start to master your habits, you can master your mindset and you can master your life. Thank you for listening. I hope you got something from this. If you did, drop me a DM or tag me on Instagram at just.live.coaching. Otherwise, join the Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life Facebook community. Let me know what your biggest takeaways were. Leave a rating or review or drop a message in the group and let me know what you're going to implement to change your life today. If you know someone who would benefit from hearing this, let them know, share this with them and see how you can be a change instigator in the people around you. Thank you.